When you think about AI, what comes to mind? Probably these enormous, almost mythical models, right? Built by these giant companies with just, endless resources. Well, today, we're going to flip that script. We're talking about a classic David versus Goliath story, but set right in the heart of the AI world. It's the story of how small might just be the new big.
Right now, we're living in what you could call the age of the AI behemoth. I mean, these are the models you hear about everywhere. They're writing poetry, making these jaw-dropping images, even passing the bar exam. And for a while, the thinking has been pretty simple. If you want more power, you just build a bigger model. But you gotta ask, is bigger really always better? Or is this whole obsession with scale actually creating a bunch of problems we didn't see coming?
Okay, so this slide really lays out the battle lines, right? On one side, you've got the Goliath approach. We're talking extremely high costs, both to build and to run. They're slow, resource-intensive, and honestly, they're kind of like a walled garden, only accessible to a handful of giant corporations. But then you look at the David side. Low cost, fast, and nimble. And the big one, accessible to everyone. This isn't just about different tech, It's a whole different philosophy about who gets to build the future.
And that, right there, brings us to our hero. In the shadow of these giants, a challenger steps into the ring, the Smol model. Yeah, the name is kind of playful, I love it, but don't let that fool you. The idea behind it is incredibly powerful. This is the ultimate underdog, here to prove once and for all that you don't have to be the biggest to be the absolute best.
So what is a small model exactly? It's really important to get this. It's not just a big model that's been shrunk down. Nope. The key word here is specialization. Think of it like this. A giant model tries to be a jack of all trades and master of none sometimes, but a small model, it's a master of one. It's designed from the get-go to be super efficient and to pour all of its energy into doing one specific thing and doing it exceptionally well. And the advantages in the real world, they're massive. Faster inference just means you get your answers now, not later. A way lower carbon footprint? That's just better for all of us, for the planet. And this is a big one. It can run on your own device, your laptop. That means more privacy, more control. It all comes together to mean AI becomes more accessible, giving everyone the freedom to tweak and customize a model for exactly what they need. Okay, but how do you actually unlock all this potential? I mean, it sounds great, but you need a plan, a strategy. Well, that's where the Smol training playbook from Hugging Face comes in. If the Smol model is our David, then this playbook, this is the slingshot. It's the set of rules and techniques that makes building these small, mighty models a real possibility for, well, everyone.
This quote just nails the whole mission, doesn't it? Democratizing AI. It's not just about making tinier models for the sake of it. It's about leveling the entire playing field. It's about knocking down those huge financial and technical walls that have kept AI locked up in a few giant labs. The goal here is to put these incredibly powerful tools into the hands of the many, not just the few.
And the playbook's philosophy is so smart because it's so simple. First, it says, forget trying to collect petabytes of junk data. Instead, focus on a smaller, really high-quality data set that's perfectly suited for what you want to do. Quality over quantity. Second, don't use a sledgehammer to crack a nut, Pick a model design, an architecture that's lean and mean, built specifically for that task. And finally, use clever, efficient training methods that get you an amazing result without, needing a personal power plant to run it.
All right, so we've covered the what and the how, but now let's get to the most important part, the why. Why does any of this matter? Why is this whole shift from giant AI to small AI such a big deal? What's the actual real-world impact for all of us?
Just look at that number for a second. Let it sink in. 99%. That is how much less energy a small, specialized model can use compared to one of the giants. This isn't just a little bit better, it's a completely different league. It's a revolutionary jump in efficiency, and that has huge consequences for costs and, of course, for the environment.
And if that number wasn't clear enough, this chart just makes it impossible to ignore. Look at that bar for giant AI. It's a skyscraper. And then look at the one for small AI. It's barely even there. It's such a stark visual of how wasteful that bigger is better mindset can be, and it shows there's a much, much more sustainable way forward.
So who actually wins in this scenario? Well, pretty much everyone who isn't a tech giant. We're talking about independent developers who have a fantastic idea but not a billion-dollar budget, startups that can now punch way above their weight, researchers and students working on the next big thing from a university lab or a dorm room, artists, creators, really Anyone with a laptop and a cool idea. This is what it actually means to democratize AI.
Okay, so all of this is leading us to a really important moment, a real fork in the road for where AI goes next. We basically have a choice to make. Do we keep going down this path of bigger and bigger, more centralized models, or do we take this other path towards something new, something a lot more diverse?
Because maybe the future isn't about building one single giant all-knowing brain that lives in the cloud. Maybe it's about creating a whole ecosystem, a vibrant, bustling world filled with millions of smaller, specialized intelligences, where each one is an expert at its own little thing. That kind of AI world would be more creative, more resilient, and way more accessible to everybody.
Which brings us to the final big question. What is the future of AI going to look like? Is it going to be one giant brain? Or is it going to be millions of specialized small ones? If the small training playbook is anything to go by, it seems like the future belongs to the many, not the few. But I'm curious, what do you think?